Greetings of the day. I, Devansh Agrawal, with my teammates Abuzar Jameel, Anshul J. Dharawal, Himanshu Sirmuria, Parikshit Singh, Ritu Jain, and Siraj Uddin Siddiqui, are going to present on the topic Satyam Computers. And our roadmap includes introduction, change the slide. And our roadmap includes introduction, overview of Satyam scandal, background and emergence, confession of Mr. Raju, auditor's role and factors contributing to fraud, investigation, criminal, civil charges and victims, corporate governance issues at Satyam, impact of the scam, and conclusion. At first, I would like to give you a brief introduction of our case. First point, Satyam Computers is an information technology services company offering software development, system maintenance, packaged software integration, and engineering design services. And the second point is Satyam's ownership. Satyam Computers is founded by Mr. Ramalinga Raju on 24th June 1987 in Hyderabad and converted into public limited company in 1992. And the third point is Satyam's position in IT sectors. Satyam Computers was the fourth largest growing IT company in India and was listed in Bombay Stock Exchange and New York Stock Exchange. And it was the first Indian company to be listed in New York Stock Exchange. In 2003, it includes 13,120 technical associates, servicing over 300 customers worldwide. It has the estimated growth rate of 6.4%. In 2008, its gross revenue was 7 billion. Then the fourth point is Mr. Ramalinga Raju's entrepreneurial skills. Mr. Ramalinga Raju has the entrepreneurial skills to forecast the future potential of IT sector growth and started a business in that field. He has the skills of leadership. That's why he is able to open a company and manage people and able to move towards the goal of the company. He has the ability to adjust himself in dynamic environment with diverse people. That's why he's able to work with different kind of people even outside India. But above all, as our fifth point says, greed overcome his entrepreneurial skills because his greed for money, power, fame overcome all his skills and he did one of the India's biggest fraud ever by manipulating financial statements and making fake invoices. If he had used his skills in the right direction, Satyam Computers would be the India's number one IT company. And the last point is Satyam Computers was named as Indian Enron. It is the name given by Indian media because unlike Satyam, Enron sank due to agency problems. Now, I would like to invite Abusar Jamil to explain the overview of Satyam scandal.
Thank you, Devansh. Good morning, sir. I am Abuzar Jamil. On behalf of my group, I am going to discuss about the overview of the scam. Overview of the Satyam scam. What is the Satyam scam about? Let's discuss about it. Satyam scam. It is about corporate governance and fraudulent auditing practices, allegedly inconvenience with auditors and chartered accountants. The the company misrepresents its accounts to its board, stock exchanges, regulators, investors, and other stakeholders. It is a fraud which mislead the market and others by lying about the company's financial health. Even basic facts such as revenue, operating profits, interest, liabilities, and cash balances, which were grossly inflated to show the company it is in good health. The company shows in his accounts that they have more cash and bank loans, and it is about 1.04 billion, which were non-existent, or we can say fake cash and loan account amounts. To raise more and more funds, more and more cash, Mr. Ramalinga Raju started manipulating the financial statements of the company and showing that the company is growing very fastly. By seeing the rapid growth of the company, the share price of a company of Satyam Computers also increases. To show more sales of company of Satyam Computers, Mr. Raju started to make fake invoices and he make 7,500 fake sales invoice. And to show the profits of the sales, Mr. Raju also make fake bank statements with the help of auditors, global head of auditors, and show that the earned profit is deposited into bank by the help of auditors and promoters, and show non-existing cash revenues. And he did this many years, and the help of fake invoices and bank statements. He also makes 6,000 fake salary accounts, and grab this money in his accounts, and also created fake customer ID identity and generate fake invoices against their name to inflate revenue. So who is to blame here? The question which arises. The promoters are the primary culprit. Although it is almost impossible to misrepresent such facts without the connivance of the auditors and some executive board members. Independent directors, it seems, were kept in the dark about the actual book of accounts. And what about the auditors? The role of external third party auditors, whoever tasked to ensure that no financial bungling is undertaken to carry out promoters, interest or hide facts, have also been brought to question. Why the fraud this fraud took place by Mr. Ramalinga Raju? The fraud took place to divert companies' fund into real estates. So that's it from my side. Now I would like to call my friend Anshul to move further.
Good morning, sir. I'm Anshu J. Darwal. I'll be talking about background, emergence, and confession by Mr. Raju. Satyam Computer, am I audible?
Yes,
Yes.
you are. Yes, you are.
Satyam Computer Services was founded in 1987 in Hyderabad, India, and by 2008 had revenue over $2 billion and employing around 52,000 IT professionals across the world. It was one of the India's top five IT companies and won various awards on innovation, governance, and corporate accountability. It had extensive client list of 500 companies. The company was the subject of corporate scandal in January 2019 when Chairman Ramalinga Raju admitted in a letter to board of directors that corporate accounts had been falsified, adding $1 billion to the companies and cash related assets. In April 2019, Tech Mahindra bought 51 share of the company and saved it from complete collapse. Uh, Mr. Raju wrote a letter to uh, board of directors, where he confessed the falsified balance sheet and final accounts, and the gap in balance sheet has arisen purely account of inflated profits over a period of last several years. He also said that neither he nor his family sold any share in the last 8 years, and none of the board member had knowledge about the situation. And lastly, he resigned from Satyam Computers. That's all from my side, and I would like Himanshu to continue further.
Thanks, Anshul. I am Manshu Sirmuria, and I will further tell you about auditor's role and factor contributing to fraud. Global auditing firm Pricewaterhouse
Vanshu, please
Cooper.
keep on the camera.
Sir, on है.
मुझे visible नहीं है.
एक मिनट.
एक
Is it
बार फिर
visible
से
now,
करो.
sir?
एक बार फिर से करो.
Okay, sir. Is it visible, sir?
No, not to me.
Uh,
Okay.
मैं मीट फिर से ज्वाइन करता हूँ.
Okay, please continue. Please continue. Yeah, it's okay now. It's okay now.
A global auditing firm, PricewaterhouseCoopers, audited Satyam books from June 2000 to 2009. PwC was external auditor to the company. It is surprising how they did not see 7,651 fake bills uh, after auditing Satyam for almost 9 years. There were multiple red flags that the auditor could have caught upon. One particularly, Satyam claimed that they have $1.04 billion in their balance sheet. In a non-interest bearing account. According to sorry, according to accounting professionals, any reasonable company would have just invested the money in an interest yielding account, or just return the excess cash to the shareholders. Secondly, a simple check with the bank would have revealed that the bills were not valid and the cash balance were overstated. It seems that the auditor did not independently verify with the banks. Satyam also paid PVC twice the amount what other audit firm would have charged. Reportedly, PwC received a consolidated amount of rupees 4.3 crore for their audit in the financial year 2007 to 2008, around twice what other tech giants like Infosys and Wipro would give to their auditors. It further raises question about PwC complicit in fraud or not. There are numerous factors contributed to the fraud, such as SEBI, institutional investor, retail investor, and external auditors. None of them with the detailed information and models available to them could not suspect anything about the fraud. There are various unethical practices conducted by Mr. Ramalingam that contributed to the fraud. Greed, ambitious corporate growth, deceptive reporting practices, excessive interest in maintaining stock prices, and high stock market expectations, and also auditing failures, weak independent directors, and whistleblowing policy not being effective lead to such extent. Merrill Lynch also plays a crucial role in discovering the fraud. As a part of its due diligence, Merrill Lynch uncovered the fraud in just 10 days, whereas PwC was auditing the firm for almost 9 years and they could not suspect anything. Now my friend Ritu will further continue.
Good morning, sir. Now our next topic is investigation, criminal, civil charges, and victim. First, formation of investigation team and CBI investigation. An investigation team was formed to investigate the total amount of fraud. This investigation team revealed the total amount of fraud and all financial misconduct which was done by Satyam on the paper. When it seems the fraud is of very high amount and the discrepancy is more than CBI start investigating the scam and overseas asset as well and start revealing the different aspects and domain of fraud. Next one is investigation of all inaccuracy. A team of ICAI, the Institute of Chartered Accounts of India, state that CFO and auditors were guilty of their professional misconduct. Satyam was showing his profit very high on paper to increase its share value. In this way, their share value are very high in market, and after seeing that share, they are earning a huge profit and start investing that amount on real estate like Meta's infrastructure, Meta's properties, which was owned by family members of Satyam chairman. In this way, on paper their profit are very high, but in real that amount was very low. So when the value of real estate get collapsed, then Satyam unable to control that loss and their business get collapsed and they are unable to manage this. So Mr. Ramalinga Raju state this fraud. Next one, levied of different type of charges on Satyam. On this basis of above investigation, the fraud was done on global level of many types of charges laid on Satyam. It was also stated that various Indian politicians are also involved in this fraud. So there are different type of charges levied on Satyam. In India, civil and criminal both charges filed against. In USA, civil charges filed against Satyam too. Next one, victim of Satyam scam. Due to this scam, many people and many parts of society also get affected. Some of the main victims which get most affected are as follows. First, employees, as they get most affected because they are unable to get their salary, promotions. They are very worried reading regarding their career future. They were started in many ways, morally, financially, legally, and socially. Next, bankers. Bankers were concerned about its recovery of financial exposure and recall facilities. Next, Indian government. The Indian government was worried about its image in worldwide. As due to scam in IT sector, they were worried that it will affect the faith of different countries. Different countries to invest in India and to set up their business in India. As the scheme will affect the IT sector market of India. Please change the slide. Now our topic is corporate governance issues at Satyam. First, corporate governance practice should be stronger. Mr. Raju committed that the fraud which he done of nearly $276 million in this process, Satyam violated all rules of corporate governance. Hence, the CG practice should be stronger, transparent, and strict. Proper auditing should be take place to avoid such type of fraud. Satyam scheme was very big example of poor CG practice. Next one is role of different level of employees should be properly defined. At each level of organization from CEO, chairman, board of director, MD, manager to low level employees like workers, their roles should be properly defined to them too. Make transparency and proper governance and smoothness in the organization. They should know their rules, right, so that they can give their all efforts and can distinguish if there any flash fight happen. The next one is more communication should be between shareholder and employees. The communication should be more between shareholders and employees, or I can suggest proper communication should be there at every channel level of organization. As in certain shareholder never had opportunity to give their opinion, even not before their Meta's deal. A false report and inflated financial report were present before them. So as a result, shareholders were at loss and felt cheated. Now my friend Siraj will continue.
Good morning, sir. I am Sirajuddin. Impact of these scams are first immediate market reaction. Indian stock market fell dramatically. Sensex index dropped 7.3%. And Indian IT sector suffered a downturn. And also Indian GDP growth rate it was risk. Second is the New York Stock Exchange has halted trading in Satyam stock immediately following the news of fraud. Merrill Lynch terminated its engagement with Satyam. Then Satyam share fell. Indian National Stock Exchange has announced that it will remove Satyam from CNX Nifty 50 share index. Satyam share fell to 11.37 rupees on 10 January 2009. They are at lowest level since March 1998 because last year they hit a high of 544 rupees. After that, what happened to Mr. Raju and his brother? Raju and his brother Veeram Raju was then arrested by the CID of Andhra Pradesh police. on charges of conspiracy, cheating, and falsification of record. Last government appointed a new board of directors for Satyam. Government appointed new board of directors for Satyam to try to save the company. The board goal was to sell the company within 100 days. Several IT sector companies gained enough confidence in Satyam, so they participate in the occasion of Satyam. And finally, merge of Mahindra and Satyam Computer. Several companies bid on Satyam on 13 April 2009. The winning bidder was Tech Mahindra, who brought Satyam on 1.13 per share. Mahindra Satyam rebranded its services as the new Mahindra management as Mahindra Satyam. Thank you. Over to you, Prashit.
Thank you. Till now, we have seen the impact of scam. Let's move forward and see the graph of fallen of Satyam Computers from grace. As we can see, from 16 December 2008, Satyam was ready to buy tower firms owned by Mr. Ramalinga's son. But Raju cancels the deal within 24 hours after the shares declined by half in the US trading market. Satyam gives explanation for it as because of investors' concern, the deal was put off, and soon after this, a debate began on corporate governance. Satyam Seta board did a meeting to buy back the shares, but the two independent directors didn't sign off on takeover valuation. And on 23rd December 2008, the World Bank confirms its ban on Satyam from doing its business for 8 years because it because for giving its staff improper benefits. And after this, independent director Mangalam Srinivasam also resigned. After seeing the fact that without their consent, the lenders sold the shares pledged by Raju's family, so they also resigned from the company. Now, as the corporate governance issue, which was decline in share, were renewed, and suddenly after that day, in a report came in Economic Times of the merger offer by Tech Mahindra to Satyam Enterprises, but he declined with this fact. But after the number of frauds were increased at the international level, the World Bank interfered in between and established a committee to check upon the balance sheet of the company, which made the B. Ramalinga Raju to confess with the fact that they committed the fraud and manipulated with the accounts. They wrote a letter to the company's shareholders as well as the employees and confessed. They were jailed and the new directors were made by the government, and on 13th April 2009, via formal public auction process, a 46% stake in Satyam was purchased by Mahindra and Mahindra, owned by Tech Mahindra company. Please change the slide. Now, at the end, I would like to conclude the case study. As, ev- as everyone would have examined and analyzed in depth about the Satyam Computers Limited accounting fraud, which portrays the events that took place, the aftermath of the events, and the key parties involved in this fraud. After this fraud came in the limelight, it tumbled down the whole industry sector's image. This made the Indian government to make reforms and focus mainly upon forensic accounting skills and public second one was public demand for change and subsequent regulatory action. The Indian government seriously took action and made reforms, and one of them was the Companies Act 1956 was replaced with the new Companies Act 2013, which says the compulsory rotation of individual auditors after 5 years and the rotation and audit firms after 10 years. The fraud committed by Satyam was because of the human behavior of unlimited wants, which made them hunger and greedy for money, power, and fame. At the end, the truth was sought, and those who were violating the legal, ethical, and social norms were taken to the task as per the process of law. The SEC and PCOB fined the PwC India, world's fourth largest accounting and auditors firm company, with $7.5 million, which was the largest penalty ever against a foreign accounting firm. This biggest scam made us learn three things from it. Number one is fraud does not look bad on a company. It looks bad on the whole industry and it restricts the outsourcing and investments. Second one is small changes make big differences. Yes, it makes big differences. So even tiny loopholes must be filled and should be audited. And the third one and last one is separate the role of CEO and chairman of the boards. So there should not be misuse of powers by the single person and there will be clarity in work too. Thank you.